What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Jesus Coin. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I appreciate everybody for being here. You guys, we closed last week with a 127.5% gain from open to close. That's phenomenal. This is the biggest week, literally the biggest week that we've seen from an open to close basis since October. Now this one was 230%. That's nowhere near what we have here, right? I mean, that's like essentially double. I suppose the closest week would have been back here in November, but still, the last time we saw anything of this kind of magnitude was in the midst of this move up, right? And I mean, to be fair, the only one that was bigger than this in this whole time frame was this one here. This one in the beginning of what broke us out of our downtrend and sent us on to new all-time highs. I do theorize that that's what we're in now. Last week did close recently, right? That was the most volume that we have seen since March, since the beginning of March, technically the end of February going into March this week, right? Since that high there, this was the most volume we'd seen in any given week since that time, man. Crazy. More volume here than we had on this week back here, and about equivalent volume actually as this 230% move was. So a very significant move, substantiated, validated. I think it's the real deal, you guys. I think this is a breakout move, right? We literally engulfed all of this price action. We had the highest weekly close that we've seen. Even higher, let's see. Was it higher than that? Let's see. Come on now, horizontal line. Give it to me. There you are. Oh, it's pretty neck and neck. Who's the winner? Tie goes to the red candle. Yep, the red candle was a little bit higher here. So it was the highest weekly close as well that we've seen since March. So, I mean, just all the good things, all the right things coming in at the right time, all the right places, all those things. Man, I can't stop saying the word all. From top to bottom here of this range, we did close above the 382. Now, I did say before we got up to this 382 that this was a possibility that I personally wasn't considering. I mean, not that I wasn't considering it. I actually did consider it, but I wasn't expecting it. My expectation would have been that we found resistance at the 382, come back to the 236, and then move up. You guys, now that we have closed above the 382, it's still completely possible that we can go back to the 236. Okay, it happens. It does happen, and it's not bad if it happens. Okay, again, the 236 would be at 70955. Okay, so we could go down. Not quite 50%, but pretty damn close. Definitely more than 45%, right? I would think. How much would that be? I'm getting caught up in the math, but while we're having fun, let's go for it. Let's see. Something like that. I did my math wrong. I did my math completely wrong. 35%. I brought in a 1 when I didn't need to. Anyways, it's possible to move back to your 236. But more likely, more often than not, with a move like this that closes above, it's 382. And this is a very significant fib scale here. What you see is you actually see consolidation above the 382. We might go as low as the 382. We might even pierce below it. That doesn't mean we're going all the way back below the 236, right? We do have this weekly high close right here in the middle. We could go back to that at 60127. We're at 601,486 right now. We could go as low as that and bounce. Even if we go lower, I think it's fine. You know, looking further back to the left here, we've got, I guess those weekly high closes are higher. We've got these weekly low closes down here that aren't quite at the 236. But, you know, there's a lot of areas for support between here and down here that we could interact with, right? My theory is that if we go below this line, I'm saying if because we might not go below the 382 again, you guys, until seeing new all-time highs at least, right? If we go below this line, it will not be long-lived. It'll be a prime buying opportunity. And in fact, being at 601,486, being that we just pumped 127.5% in the last week, in the last 2 weeks, we saw an overall pump of 226% from low to high. Even though that all has taken place, yes, prices at 60134, anywhere around there, which we're pretty damn close to that now even, is a good area to buy. Anything below there is a good area to buy. And that might not seem right. Let's say you buy here at the 382. Let's say you set a buy order right there. It gets hit, you get filled, boom, you got your order filled. And now the price goes all the way down to the 236. Okay, so you're down 30% on your position. It might not feel like a good buying point, but in my opinion, the odds of us going back to the 236 are far lesser right? We have a greater chance of hovering, I would say, around this area, somewhere around here. And I do plan on buying more Jesus coin. I was actually just talking to my wife about it today. I would like to buy more Jesus coin. I would be happy at buying it even at this price right here. I don't chase things, you guys. It's not my style. I always say you don't chase, like you see a big green dragon take off and take to the skies. You don't chase it. If you grab it by the tail, you're going to get burned, right? And that's where the whole Dragon Riders thing came from for Bitcoin Cash. Kind of. That's kind of where it came from. I said that, and then I feel like people in the comments took it a little bit further and started calling it the dragon. So I was like, all right, we're going to run with this. That's where that came from. But the saying, I do use that saying, especially in scenarios like this, right? You don't chase. You're going to get burned if you chase, right? So I don't chase. This is coming from the person that doesn't chase. I feel comfortable buying here for what Jesus coin is. This to me is not chasing, right? I mean, obviously you're not buying at an ideal point compared to like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but if we compare this really to this breakout move over here, we are just beginning. We're not chasing. We're on the loading dock still, right? We've the premium seats, first class is sold out. You can't do that anymore. But economy is still available, right? It is still available, right? You're not going to get as much out of it, but it's still going to the same destination, which I believe will be 501100 over there, 5025-ish or even beyond. And I think that will happen over the next 2 months. It's the same message I've been saying, right? Since this past week started showing some bullishness, but man, closing above the 382 with the amount of volume, the size of the candle we got, you guys, I'm not even the slight bit worried about what's about to happen. Like even if we go down, even if we were to drop 30% from here, I'm not worried about it. We are in the midst of this next move up, man. We are really in the midst of it. And we're just in the beginning, actually. Like we just started it. That was last week, right? Here's 1 week out of like 12 weeks of price action, right? We're just in the beginning. And I'm not saying it's going to take this exact amount of time or that it'll look exactly like this. Who knows? But I do believe that we're going to see new highs. And I do believe that at a minimum, those new highs would drop a zero from where we are now. We would at least see something like a 10x. Well, maybe not a 10x from here. I guess what would that be? Although I would anticipate probably a 10x or more. But that would still be a 7x, 7.4x, and what I think we could safely assume would happen by August, by the end of August, potentially as late as September. But over the coming months, you guys, like this is happening right now. You want a good meme coin to get into? Jesus coin. It's gonna be very glorious, man. It's gonna be very, very glorious. If you're hearing this and you're like, I'm gonna put my life savings in this, bad. Don't do that. Do not. Some people do. No hate to the people that do. I know people. I've made friends with people who have literally put their life savings in this coin, and they're probably really happy right now. You know what I mean? But it's a meme coin. It is a meme coin. Maybe it could even be defined as like a community coin, right? It's a little bit more than just a meme coin. There's memes in it, but it's definitely it's a pretty. I know every crypto, especially the memes out there, they always say they have the strongest communities, whatever. I'm not trying to advocate that Jesus coin has the strongest community out there, but it is a real community. It's not just pumps and dumps. It's not just pumpers and dumpers and people who are in it just for the money. Don't get me wrong. This is crypto. We all buy these coins to make money. But there really is a community in Jesus coin. It doesn't matter if it dumps. You guys, Jesus coin, the community is still strong. It's not thriving like it is at all-time high. No crypto would be, of course, whenever it dumps this much over a long period of time, of course. But the community was still alive and strong. You know, the people, the naysayers, the people that had lost hope and given up and sold down here, you know, it happens to everybody. It really does. And if you did sell down here, I hope that's just a learning lesson. You know, maybe Jesus coin just wasn't the one for you. There's opportunities everywhere. And even now, even after this pump, there really is still an opportunity. I had something I was going to say, man. It was a good, what was it? It was really, I don't know. Let's get past the pep talks, man. Let's get past the pep talks. Closed above the 50. Highest rating in the RSI on the weekly basis that we've seen in a very long time, since January. Showing a lot of strength for sure. Looking at the more relative fib from this high to low, we tipped the 1272. Tipped it. It's very, very common to pull back to your 100 level or your 886 afterwards. And I want to look at the daily to make sure we didn't do that already. Actually, look, we did do that, right? This is why you do that. Look at that. already pulled back to it. That could have been it, you guys. Yesterday could have been that might be the low, but it's not uncommon at all to go back to the 886, and that's at 6 zeros 1 2 5 5. I'm pretty sure that's like right at the 382 of this overall move here, from a high point to a low point. Yeah, look at that, right? Oh, I guess not. Sorry, I got the 100 confused. Still though, it's in this range, right? And again, I was saying you could go a little bit below the 382, and that's not a problem. That 886 here of this fib actually comes in line very well with the high, this weekly closing high here, and kind of around these weekly closing highs as well. So that could be in the mix. I definitely plan on buying more Jesus coin anytime we're around this yellow line at all, the 382, 6 zeros 134. Anytime we're around there, and we're basically around it now, man. I'm just waiting for the banks to open tomorrow so we can deposit more money. That's essentially it, man. If I had a check, I would be doing it digitally right now. But yeah, man. I've even considered rotating money into this. But the thing is, again, guys, I don't chase. I remember what I was going to say. I'm going to get back to it in a second. But rotating money from crypto to crypto is one thing, but the way you do it is you take the thing that just pumped and you rotate it into the thing that's boring. You don't take the things that are boring or haven't pumped yet and put it into the things that have pumps. That's how you miss opportunities, right? Like imagine Jesus coin pumped right here, and you're like, I'm going to get in here because I know it's going to go to new all-time highs. I'll buy it here. And then for the next month or so, it was actually boring. The crypto that you sold that was being boring, finally within the month that Jesus coin's being boring, it pops. You don't want to do that. You're never going to catch a pump if you're always buying after the pump, right? You have to be patient. So I definitely wouldn't recommend, and none of this financial advice, you guys do what you want, of course. It's your money. But I wouldn't recommend taking funds from other cryptos, other meme coins, and putting it in here unless you're convinced that it's like a scam project or it's a project you no longer want to be in. Of course, the Jesus coin is definitely a good project to get into, I think. But what I was going to say was pertaining back to the life savings thing. You guys don't throw money. Even I love Jesus coin. I love the community. I really do. It's great. I'm very happy that you guys brought me on, that a lot of people encouraged me to get into this coin early on. I'm very happy, not just with the coin itself, with how it's doing on a price action basis, but with the community. You guys are you guys are the real ones. Like I very much do appreciate you. But don't go throwing all of your money that you have into this here. And again, not financial advice. Do what you want to do. I know people who have, and they're doing well for themselves, but that's not everybody. And this is technically not an ideal time to buy, even with the projections I have, right? With the projections that we've laid out, a 7x, 15x, what's the maximum that we could see from the current price? It'd be so like a 7.3x to potentially like a 17x. With that, you could turn something as low as like $1,000 into some significant money, right? Into some pretty damn significant money. In a very, very short amount of time. You don't need to put your life savings in this, right? And for some of you, $1,000 might be your life savings, right? And if that's the case, I mean, and that everybody's got a different situation, but if that's the case, maybe you've got a little bit more leeway with risk, with the risk of this, right? $1,000, even if you lose it, even if things go wrong and you do lose it, that's something that most people, even if it takes months or a month to bring that back up, or weeks, everyone's got a different situation. But I think if people live frugally, they can absolutely save. And everyone's got a different situation. Everyone's got different bills. Some people have, kids, multiple kids, or various things, court fees, court fines, debt to pay off, all these kinds of things that can literally hemorrhage the amount of money that they can save in a month's time. But anybody, I would say, even if it's not a month's time, within a decent amount of time, within 6 months, I would think that most people, especially in the Western Hemisphere, are able to save. Well, maybe not the Western Hemisphere, in like North America, probably are able to save $1,000 in a relatively short amount of time. So, all this to say, if life savings to you is $1,000, okay, maybe you can mess with it. It's all up to you. None of this financial advice, But if it's like $10,000, $20,000, $100,000, don't be putting ridiculous kinds of money into it. And don't listen to me. I'm saying that, and I do predict it's going to go up higher. I'm just saying, It is a meme coin. It is a community coin, whatever you want to think of it. I'm not trying to dog the community or the meme coin at all. I love this coin. I was saying that just a second ago, right? And I do think it's going to do well. I think that it could even pass this 1618. Genuinely, this is just the expectation. Expectations can be exceeded. Let me show you, right? Getting back to the TA, from a low point to a high point here, 61x is what we saw last time. From a low point to a high point, a 61x would take us basically all the way up to this 1786, okay, at 5037, which would essentially be, from the current price, about a 22x. So we could see a 22x. Maybe we only see a 16x. Maybe we see a 8x, a 9x, a 7x. The minimum projection would be a 7x, but and it could even be past that. I doubt that we see a larger amount of growth this time than we did last time. I personally think that we'll see about half. I feel safer in assuming an overall like 30x, which from a low point to a high point would be right around this 1414, a little bit above it, which, hey, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Because from a high point to a low point here, you went right around your 1414, just a little bit below it actually, but right around that 1414. So maybe that's where we're going right now. But who knows? Anything's possible with this. It is still a low market cap coin, a low liquidity coin. Doesn't take a lot to pump the prices. I want to talk about something that I actually meant to talk about in the beginning of this, and I got sidetracked because I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited for everybody in the community. I know that there's been a lot of despair recently, and this is the best week, man. Of course, everybody in hindsight like this, these are the best times, right? Up here at the top, it's the best times, but really, these are the best times because you've suffered through all of this. And your patience is being validated. It's being rewarded, right? It's just the beginning. Who knows? Anything can happen. But this is a very significant, validating looking move to all the hopes and faith that we've put into this coin, right? To me, these really are the best times. It's nice being at the top, but starting the climb is, for me, that's the best. So we're really in good times right now, and that's why I got distracted. That's why I'm kind of getting distracted now. But what I wanted to talk about was not this, but let's check on it while we're here. Screw it. At a neutral. That last week was crazy, man. Look at that. Right? We hit 30 twice, and now we're up at 53. Oh, we don't care, man. The market doesn't care. Jesus coin doesn't care. It did its own thing last week anyways. But the thing that I wanted to talk about was on x.com here. Shout out to, who was it? Let me see. Homie in the Discord. It wasn't, who was it? I feel like it was a lady. Let's see. Man, the Bible study is, it's not popping as much as I thought it was, but still, there's a little bit of life in there. More life than we've seen. Kara P, you posted, Jesus, take the memes. Take them from weak hands. Can't make memes pump on my own. I'm letting go. So give me one more bag and save me from this rug I'm on. Jesus, take the memes. You posted this, and this was on the day Jesus was pumping, right? Like a lot. Well, it was yesterday. It was like when we formed these highs, actually. And I'm gonna pull that up so you guys can see that I'm reading it on a different tab here. But that was off of Ben Armstrong. Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy Crypto. Let's see if we can find this here, right? For a second, I want to say for a second, you guys, I got kind of excited. I got kind of excited about this post right here. I did. I don't know if this actually does pertain to Jesus. I see the $ next to Jesus in all capital letters. That clearly to me makes me think of a crypto, right? Like you see this with the $ next to it. That's like, it's not a hashtag. It's not like he's actually saying Jesus the name. It's like, this to me implies the crypto, but he hasn't hinted. Other than this, he made a video recently and he hasn't suggested anything about Jesus coin. He hasn't said anything. So I'm not sure if this actually pertains to Jesus coin. This could have been why we had that last little like hoorah, not yesterday, but the day before, right? Why we like reached up, and perhaps yesterday's move down was the realization that it's not about Jesus coin. This might have just been a funny play on words, right? Like Jesus take the wheel, but this is Jesus take the memes. I don't know. Maybe Ben Armstrong has invested in Jesus coin. Maybe he hasn't. He made a kind of bearish video recently on meme coins, but if Ben Armstrong is talking about Jesus Coin, if this is in a reference to Jesus Coin, if he has bought some, you guys, that could be big. BitBoy he doesn't have the biggest account anymore, right? He's got like 77,000, maybe 100,000 subscribers now. It's a lot of subscribers, way more than I have. Don't get me wrong, but he is still one of the more prominent names in crypto, and I think somebody like this promoting Jesus Coin as a meme coin would be huge. It would be huge, man. It would be really, really big. That'd bring a lot of attention to Jesus Coin. But sadly, unfortunately, my opinion is I think this is just a coincidence. He's probably not even aware of Jesus Coin, or if he saw it, he probably is not invested in it. That's my thoughts from this. But it was exciting. It did give me a little bit of oh my God, here we go. This is it moment, you know. But we don't need it. We don't need it. We're going to be fine without it, right? This is going to pump just fine and do phenomenal things. So I don't know, man. I've said everything I need to say. Don't be surprised if we stall. We could stall for the next like month. We could stall for a week. We might not stall at all. Who knows, man? It's very unpredictable right now. But again, moving back to check back your breakout point, it's not uncommon at all. Right, if we went down about like another 10 to 20% from here, even 30-something%, it's not uncommon at all. That would be a 15% drop, right? Prime areas to buy around, what was it, 60134? Was that it? 60134. That's where I'll be buying. Yes, 601, yeah, 134, 135. I'm gonna probably buy at 60135. If I see the price there, anywhere near there, certainly below there, I will be buying more Jesus Coin personally. And if it goes up, it's not in me to chase. So if it goes up, I probably won't be buying more. I'll be kicking myself in the butt for not buying more here or buying more, you know, last week. But I've already got a lot of Jesus Coin, you guys. I will be more than happy with the gains that we see at these new all-time highs. So I'm not worried about it one way or another. If you guys like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Be prepared for a little bit of downside over the coming days. That could have been it. To be fair, the way that I do fibs, you guys, that really could have been it, because if you take this relative high to the relative low, going from your 1272 back to your 100, if we make a move back up to this 1272, we're likely going to break it. Okay, that would indicate that that's the low, and bouncing off of the previous high itself and these relative like tweezer tops here, looking like we were just going to move down, but we didn't. We actually got more volume as we're moving up, you guys. It looks so good. We're still overbought. We could bounce off of this overbought zone, and that would really promote a lot of growth. Like we would shoot past the current areas that we're at now. We could drop a little bit. Even if we get out of the overbought zone, we could still bounce like from that relative area. So that could happen over the next day or two, maybe 3. But my genuine expectation would be that we actually encounter prices somewhere in this zone. And of course we could go a little bit lower, but that's my genuine opinion on the matter. Let's see, maybe the 4 hour. It just all looks so good. It's really hard to call for prices. The only reason I'm calling for prices to go down is because that's standard. It would make sense, but dude, everything about this, I'm honestly like having a hard time. It would make sense on a fib perspective, but based on the indicators and just based on what we're seeing in the price, like I'm having a hard time thinking we even go below that low there. So with that being said, if the price doesn't move too much higher by this time tomorrow, I probably will buy some more Jesus Coin. Again, you guys, I am going to buy Jesus Coin. This is not, I might not, you know, we'll see. I'm going to buy a little bit more Jesus Coin. I'm not going to throw the bank at it. I'm not going to sell my car and throw it at it, right? Although I have a crappy little car, you guys, right? It's not crappy. It's a good car. I love my car, but it's a hand-me-down, and I love my hand-me-downs, man. They're good. They're cost effective. They get me through. Right? It's definitely nice, but I'm putting more money than what my car's worth into it, but that's not saying much. Again, anyways, guys, I'm talking way too much. I appreciate you all for being here. I will be buying more Jesus Coin tomorrow. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. I'll make a post when I do it, but this is your heads up right now. I'm trying to do this thing counter to what a lot of YouTubers do, where they tell you they've bought their coin after the fact. I could see myself having to do that whenever I have a bigger account. I could see that, right? So I don't get front run on my own calls. I could see that, but I would still post it like right as soon as I made the purchase, right? Like I wouldn't try to like tell people that I bought after it's at the top. Like I'm not a scammer, you guys. I'm not going to use anybody for exit liquidity ever. But because the channel is so small, I want to make these calls, tell you guys what I'm doing before I do it. Right? That's the whole goal. I want to let you know what my plans are. Give you guys time to make your own decisions if you want to buy, if you want to wait, whatever. But before I actually pull the trigger, and then I pull the trigger, and I'll let you guys know that I have done that, of course. But I'll let you know tomorrow that I've bought more Jesus coin, but I'm letting you know now. I'm definitely, by this time tomorrow, I will have definitely bought more Jesus coin. I know most of this video I was saying I'll wait for it to go lower, and I hope it does go lower, but I'm looking at this 4 hour, man. I'm having a hard time seeing it go lower than this, and I'm completely happy. I'm completely fine with buying here and letting it drop 30%. That's not going to phase me. What, 30%? 30% is going to phase me? We went down 90. We went down 90%, bro. We did it. We did the thing, man. We did it. We're going, you guys. It's good. I'm really excited. So one last time, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Jesus coin is about to hit the gates, you guys. To the gates we go. All right. Peace out.